Tiger is such a cute and fun cartoon, but it hides some moments of violence. Did you know that Daniel can actually be a very fierce tiger? Bench. Everybody remembers the day our main character tried to hit Elena, his classmate. Yes, that's something really bad to even talk about, but it's important to bring it up. That day, everything was going great at school. Everyone was happy with Teacher Harriet's music class, but Daniel really wanted to sit next to his friend Chrissy. The problem was that Elena had already sat in that spot before him. That's when the confusion started, and let's be clear here, Elena was brave, because picking a fight with a tiger is not for just anyone. Daniel is usually a super nice boy, but even he loses his patience sometimes. That day, our main character actually tried to hit his classmate, and he almost succeeded. But luckily, Teacher Harriet stopped it from happening. You can already tell today's video is going to be really intense, right? So grab your popcorn and that refreshing drink, because another Cinewave is about to begin. Sister. Not even Daniel's sister escaped from a fight on the day the little tiger was playing at home. In the episode about learning how to control anger, Daniel was building a fence with his toy blocks. But his sister Margaret wasn't paying attention and knocked everything down. And we get that Daniel had put in a lot of work to set up those blocks, but his reaction was a little too aggressive. Daniel even raised his hand to hit his younger sister, who is just a little kid and still doesn't understand when she does something wrong. But the main character's anger was just too strong. Thankfully, Mom Tiger stopped Daniel from doing what he wanted. Margaret was really scared of fighting with her brother. It's important to point out that this episode was made to teach fans that fighting and hitting others is a bad thing, and Daniel did learn the lesson. But for a kid's show, it was definitely a really heavy moment. Jealousy. One of the toughest days was in the jealousy episode, when Daniel Tiger took his friend Katarina to visit his grandfather. That day, Grandpère Tiger was telling the kids about his time as an airplane pilot. They were super cool stories, but Daniel didn't really like the idea of his friend getting so much attention from his grandfather, and because of that, he started messing up their playtime. There was one of the heaviest moments when Daniel started pushing Katarina while they were sitting on the couch. The main character's friend even complained, saying he was pushing her just because he wanted to see the photo album Grand-Père was showing. Of course, in the end, Grandpère Tiger understood that Daniel was angry and jealous because Katarina was getting a lot of attention, and he had a talk with his grandson about those feelings. But until everyone understood what was really going on, it was a really tense moment in Grandpère Tiger's house. Paint. Elena is a girl who has fought with Daniel a few times, and one of the worst was the day he wanted to use the same paint as her in Teacher Harriet's art class. That day, Elena was using the red color, but she kept holding on to the paint pot for too long, messing up Daniel's drawing. And when it was finally his turn to paint, Elena spilled the paint pot all over the paper Daniel was working on, and yes, it completely ruined his drawing. And to get back at her, Daniel stepped on Elena's drawing, ripping her paper. That's when the fight between them began. Thankfully, Teacher Harriet noticed a really big fight was about to start between the students, so she stepped in and taught them both that it's okay to feel upset, but nothing good comes from arguing. In the end, everything was fine, but that moment stood out as one of the heaviest in the whole Daniel Tiger series. Would you like to draw with Daniel? Comment #Tiger so we can get to know each other. Tigy. Daniel has a favorite toy. Tigy, his stuffed tiger that he loves and takes with him everywhere. Our main character hates sharing Tigy with anyone. One rule is clear: don't try to play with Tigy without Daniel's permission. But that's exactly what Margaret did in an episode about learning how to share. Even when Daniel asked his sister to give the toy back, Margaret didn't want to hand it over. So the main character said, "I'm so mad at you," and tried to pull Tigy out of his younger sister's hands. The fight could have ended in a terrible way, but Mom Tiger said it's not okay to stay mad at people, especially if that person is someone we love. Lemonade. In the episode about learning how to deal with feelings, Prince Wednesday and Daniel decided to set up a lemonade stand to refresh people on a hot day. But the boys' good deed almost turned into a fight between them because Daniel wasn't letting the prince serve anyone. The idea was for both of them to serve people, but Daniel didn't realize he was always cutting in line. That made Prince Wednesday really angry, and because of that, he fought with the main character. What made him even more upset was that Daniel didn't let him serve lemonade to his own mom. Thankfully, in the end, the main character apologized for his mistake, but that day a really heavy fight happened between them. Dad. There's an episode about learning how to choose that almost ends in a fight between father and son. That day, Daniel wanted to take a toy to school, but since he didn't want to choose, the main character decided to take them all. That would be fun, right? Taking all your toys with you? But Dad Tiger didn't let his son do what he wanted, since school is a place to study, and besides, Daniel could lose his toys. Daniel got really mad, and even Dad Tiger said he was upset a little too. But that when this happens, it's important to take a deep breath and count to 4 so you don't do something you'll regret later. In the end, Dad Tiger said he could take just one of his toys, and everything ended well, but it was still a heavy fight because Dad Tiger could have grounded Daniel. Katarina. Now it's Katarina's turn to fight, and believe me, she can get really angry sometimes. In the episode Katarina Gets Mad, Daniel went to Stan's music shop to play some instruments with his friends: Elena, Prince Wednesday, Oh the Owl, and of course Katarina herself. But that day, Katarina really wanted to play the triangle, but she couldn't. It all started when Stan didn't let the little cat choose her instrument before the others, since she had already done that before. That already made Katarina angry, but after she calmed down, it seemed like things were going to be fine. But that's not what happened, because Elena chose the exact instrument that Katarina wanted to use. Katarina didn't want to let Elena take the triangle, and the two of them almost got into a serious fight. But Stan taught them that it's important to understand when it's your turn to play. And in the end, Katarina did get to use the instrument when her turn came. And now it's your turn to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get new videos every single day. Saying sorry. There's an episode where the friends had a serious fight. It happened the day Daniel's class was heading to school to play cars. They had costumes that imitated cool vehicles like the tour bus, the police car, and the garbage truck. The idea was that the three friends would learn and copy traffic rules, but the game went wrong when Daniel started bumping his car costume into his friends. He didn't do it out of meanness, but even when you don't mean to do something wrong, you can still upset people. That day, Daniel's mistake ended up destroying Katarina's costume, and the little cat got really mad at her friend. That day, Teacher Harriet taught the students two things. The first is that saying sorry is important, but it doesn't mean much if you keep doing the same bad thing that upset your friends in the first place. It's a good thing she said that because Katarina was ready to fight Daniel really hard that day. Sand. Nothing like a happy day at the beach, right? The ocean, the sand, the friends. The beach is all fun. Well, that is if it's a sunny day, because if it rains, it's not fun at all. That day, Daniel was upset because Mom Tiger didn't let him go out in the rain to have fun at the beach. So the main character came up with a super fun idea. Well, fun in his head at least. Daniel decided to grab a bunch of sand and build a beach inside the house. The problem was it got the whole place dirty and Mom Tiger got really mad. Daniel even asked his mom if she was angry and she said yes. The main character was this close to getting a really heavy scolding from Mom Tiger for putting sand all over the house, but she took a deep breath and explained that what he did was a really bad choice, especially since she would be the one to clean it all up in the end. That was a pretty heavy moment. Playground. Daniel had another fight with his dad in an episode about learning how to accept no as an answer. That day, Dad Tiger said he needed Daniel's help to take some letters to the post office. But on the way, the main character saw it was a perfect day to play at the playground. And yes, he was right, but duties come first, and that's why Dad Tiger said he couldn't play. That made Daniel really mad, but his dad said his answer was no. And that's really important to understand because people have the right to say they're not going to do what you want. Of course, we have to listen to our parents, and it's not like Daniel couldn't play at the playground another time. Unfortunately, the little tiger didn't understand and stayed angry at his dad for a while. That episode was tense, but thankfully in the end, Daniel understood that first comes responsibility and then fun. Chalk. And finally there was the day when Margaret broke Daniel's favorite colored chalk. He got so mad that he made his sister cry. It was a really heavy day because Margaret ended up really sad. Thankfully, Daniel managed to take a deep breath and understand that his sister was too little to realize she had done something wrong. But that moment was super heavy, don't you think? You know what we think? You know what we think? That it's time for fun. That's why we picked out 2 more videos for you to choose from. We'll see you in the next one. See you soon!